Hello, teacher. My name is Estefania Santander, and today I'm going to talk about dates for phrase. The topic of this unit is constituent structure. And to begin with, we must know what is a phrase. In English grammar, a phrase is a group of two or more words functioning as a meaningful unit within a sentence or clause. A phrase is commonly characterized as a grammatical unit at a level between a word and clause. A phrase is made up of a head which determines the grammatical nature of the unit and one or more optional modifiers. Phrases may contain other phrases inside them. Phrase and clause are the most important elements of English grammar, and phrase and clause cover everything a sentence has. Clause are the center of sentences, and phrase strengthen the sentence to become meaningful. In the clause are the pillars of a building, and the phrase are the bricks. A phrase usually is always present within a clause, but a phrase cannot have a clause in it. So that's for phrase. Um, and the arrangement of the dates for phrase and the arrangement of words into phrase and the phrases into clauses may seem self-evident from the above discussion, particularly if you are a native speaker English or a native speaker who knows English well. In fact, it is not always clear how the words in a given phrase are arranged or how the phrases are arranged in a given place. And these four phrases are classified into transposition, substitution, ellipsis, and coordination, where transposition is the process of changing the position of the order of constituent in a sentence without changing the grammatical and semantic aspects. Your character is the displace a phrase into a new position where another grammatical function is assigned. Uh, your many sequences of words can be moved together into different slots in a clause, and it involves both the lexical and grammatical meanings. For example, the teacher works in the school. The sentence with transposition say, in the school works the teacher. The next sentence, the man suddenly screamed in the mid. The sentence with transposition says, suddenly the man screamed in the meeting. The same with the third sentence, a dog ate the cake of the birthday. The sentence with transposition is say, the birthday cake was eaten. We play the guitar and violin in the concert. In the concert, we play the guitar and violin. In the last sentence, the little kid broke the windows playing baseball. Playing baseball, the kid broke the windows. It's only changed the position, the subject to predicate and subject with the same meaning. Now, in substitution is replacement of a word or phrase with a filler word such as one, so, do, in order to avoid repetition. Your character is the filler word, same function without affecting the grammar of the sentence. Your pronoun substitution is just about the most common of the substitution, and substitute can be used as a noun, an adjective, or a verb. For example, Pam always brings us back chocolates when she travels. She brought some Belgian ones from her last trip, which were delicious. In this sentence, use ones to avoid repeating chocolates. The second sentence, I bought a shirt only, but when a shirt arrived, I didn't like the shirt. They about a shirt only, but when it arrived I didn't like it. So the noun shirt has been replaced twice by it. The third person pronouns are often used to refer to things in the text. In the case of the fourth sentence, we always have toast and coffee in the morning. We do too. I can't function without breakfast. Do substitute for have toast and coffee in the morning. And in the case of the last sentence, I didn't think that he would arrive, but he arrived. I didn't think he would arrive, but he did. Here, the word did um, stands for the verb arrived. Now, in the ellipsis, an ellipsis is the omission of one or more words which must be supplied by the listener or reader for the sentence to be understood. Your character is often contrasted with substitution, which is another means of grammatical cohesion, and show an omission of words that would not contribute to the clearer meaning of the sentence in they are repeated, and the omitted text does not change the meaning of the original text and is unnecessary to its meaning. For example, John at an apple and Mary at a pear. So the sentence with ellipsis say John at an apple and Mary a pear. Here, the omission of ate didn't make the sentence ambiguous. The second sentence, I have had this experience, but you have not had this experience. The sentence with ellipsis say, I have had this experience, but you haven't. Here, the omission for not had this experience does change the sense of the sentence and it still sounds coherent. In the third sentence, we can say the third sentence an ellipsis that replaces missing word in something where it's sometimes placed in square brackets. In the case of the fourth sentence, um, we delete brooch because it doesn't contribute to the sentence. This verb is repeated in the last sentence. This example is similar like the third sentence in which an ellipsis that replaces missing words is sometimes placed in square brackets. Now, in coordination is a complex syntactic structure that links together two or more elements. Your character is the clause joined by coordination are main clauses and coordination add elements together and clauses that are added have independent meaning. Also, we can use the mnemonic funds void to memorize coordinating conjunctions. For example, F with for, A with and, N with nor, B with but, O with or, Y with yet, and S with so. For example, Jackson wanted to eat another piece of cake, but he was on a diet. Remember, um, in this case, in this sentence, only use the connectors but, so, and. Now, the role of this phrase in the foreign language learning, in my opinion, that these phrases help us to identify the structure of a given sentence, discover its deep meaning, and explore alternative ways of expressing the meaning. Thank you, dear teacher.